I just wanted to come on and tell you some of my story, but I don't know where to begin. And maybe I should start at the beginning, because that's where all stories start. I was born to my mom, Sandy, and my father, Bill. I was born in New Jersey, but we quickly moved to Texas. We were away from my mom's family, Grandmommy and Grandpa Pame. We moved to a place where I couldn't be protected. My mom did the best she could. Being away from her family, she didn't have the support nearby of anyone that she knew. And later, my sister was born, and we were raised together. Eventually, abuse began. And that's where my story of becoming a protector and a peacemaker started. My parents split, and my mom got us out of there. We moved to Chicago for a short time, Waukegan, Illinois. And eventually, we were able to make it back to New Jersey, where my grandparents lived. And they helped my mom both emotionally, with childcare for me and my sister, and also where she started a job and my grandparents helped a little bit financially. We had a fairly decent childhood, and my mom raised us up the best that she could with little resources and single income. But as we grew, she needed more help, of course, because things become expensive. Eventually, my mom started dating an older man who immediately became physically abusive. The first time he came over to visit my mom at the apartment where we lived, he stuck a hot iron to my face, so close that I could feel the heat burning my face. I was backed into a corner and I couldn't go anywhere, so I was at the mercy of this man, which set the stage for the rest of our childhood into our teenage and early adulthood. We were told we had to call him Uncle Bob, but he wasn't our uncle. He was a man that was seeing my mom. As time went on and I grew up, I realized I was the protector of the family, and it showed through in my school because I became a peacemaker at a young age between my friends and others on the playground. Eventually, I'd be breaking up physical fights after he would come home from drunken binges. The police were at our house many, many times, and he never went anywhere or was never punished any of these times. So the abuse just continued, and it got worse. Many times I was thrown down the stairs or beaten at the dinner table. I was glad to step in because I was not allowing anyone to hurt my mother or my sister. But this is what I learned, and this is how I grew. So I thought this was normal. And along with the other abuse, eventually as a young adult, I married into more abuse. There was a lot of abuse in his family as well, and hurt people hurt people. I had 3 children, beautiful, sweet, precious children that I'm so proud of now, forever and always. I will love you guys, even beyond. And you're my biggest and most successful things that have ever happened to me in my life. I left my home when I was 17, maybe 16. And I was never coming back to the house because I didn't want to deal with all of the things that were happening around me. And it was a lot of pressure for me to be the protector as a young girl. I would go toe to toe with this man, and I was a lot quicker than he was. He did hurt me a lot, but I didn't care about the physical abuse. I just did what I had to do. I carried this abuse into my marriage, which eventually ended when my kids were just about teenage years. It was a really hard choice. My kids were split up, and that was torture for all of us. So many happy times when we were all together when the kids were young, but the pressure and the demands just became too much for me. I did the best I could. Eventually, being surrounded by so much abuse, I dated others that were abusive. I vowed to never date again because people used me for many things. I didn't realize where I'd come from, where this all began, how this all began, and how to end it, how to end the cycle. So I did the best I could to keep my family together. Did the best I could raising my kids up and keeping us together and instilling good values in them. I always tried to lead by example, except my examples were skewed. Didn't fully understand or learn the full repercussions of all the abuse until I was in a very abusive, mentally abusive relationship. I feel like I was putting out vibes that would attract these kind of people into my life. And it took a lot of self-reflection and learning these lessons to really understand the full gravity of my life. I would say and do things that were hurtful, not just to others, but to myself. I want to take this opportunity to apologize from the bottom of my heart to anybody and everybody that I've hurt in my lifetime. Mom passed away, and that was the saddest and most life-changing moment in my lifetime. We learned really young that we had another sister and a stepbrother, and I didn't meet her until I was 29. But ever since, she's been a blessing in my life, as well as my other sister. And the three of us together were able to grow together. And it has really become a huge blessing in my life to have the three children that were born to me, and my two sisters, and my best friend that I adopted as my sister. After Mom died, everything changed, and I could see myself. That's when I had nothing left to do around here, and my kids grew up and out, and I went on the road. And that's where I began my traveling journey to see the world instead of sitting on the couch watching TV. I became disabled at some point. I'm going to save that story for another time. I will continue this, and it will be about my career and my injuries and my disability. So stay tuned, and thank you for listening. Become a minimalist if you're not already, and live in a van, making a life that's comfortable with easy access to everything. With my disability, it has to be easy. I'll see you guys next time. Please remember to like and comment. Give me a comment. If you have any questions that you want to ask me within reason, please ask them in the comment section below, and I'll try to do my best to answer them for you, either on a video or by answering your comments. And if you would be a dear, please subscribe and help me reach 1,000K so I can come to you from all those live locations like the hot springs and really cool places that I've found along the way, and doing it with friends. Become a minimalist if you're not already, and live in a van, making a life that's comfortable with easy access to everything. With my disability, it has to be easy. I'll see you guys next time. Happy trails, be blessed, and so much love to you.